What is going on? This is a special edition of 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm your host, Marcus J. Sorry about the delay there. Just putting a few finishing touches together. How's everybody doing tonight? This is 717 special feature covering UFC 265, Lewis versus Gane for the interim UFC heavyweight title of the world. How's everybody doing tonight? It's a nice night outside. I just took the dog out. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful night out. Might end up going out there, taking him for a little walk after this little episode. You know what I mean? But how's everybody doing tonight? Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Also, hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this fight card and how it's going to play out. One second. All right, and I'm back. Had to take that message to Fran. Francis will be joining us later on in the show to give us his opinion on how this fight card is going to play out as well. Like I said, 717 special feature, Lewis versus Gane, UFC 265 for the interim UFC heavyweight championship of the world. We also got a couple other fights on this card. Keep in mind that Amanda Nunes was supposed to defend her UFC women's bantamweight championship against Juliana Pena, but unfortunately for the champ, Nunes, she ended up catching COVID-19. So that fight ended up getting scrapped from the card. So if I'm not mistaken, we're working with a 3-fight main card. Share my screen here. All right. Just full screen. Boom. And as you can see here, we got a bevy of fights on this entire card. I mean, a bunch of undercard fights, but the fights we're going to focus on is the main card. And as I said, Amanda Nunes' fight with Juliana Pena got scrapped. So if I'm not mistaken, from what I can tell, the main card will be Vicente Leak going up against Michael Chiesa in a welterweight belt. Former featherweight champion Jose Aldo will be fighting Pedro Munez at bantamweight. And then obviously in the main event, it will be Cyril Gane and Derek Lewis going at it for the UFC interim heavyweight championship. So we're going to touch on Vicente Leak versus Michael Chiesa first. Both are on a win streak. Michael Chiesa, he made the move. He was bouncing between 155 and 170. He finally found a home at 170. You know what I mean? That's his best weight. That's where he feels comfortable fighting at. Vicente Leak, very dangerous fighter. He's on a roll. Terrific striking, but he also has terrific Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Michael Chiesa in his own right, very high volume, very high energy. He's got pretty decent precision. This should be a very entertaining fight. This is a toss-up fight. I'm not even going to lie. One of these two guys could put themselves in a position to at least maybe get a number one contendership shot for the belt. I'm not going to say either one of them is going to get a championship opportunity right after this. The welterweight division, as I've stated before, is a mess in the UFC right now. So, but these two are basically jockeying for position to get into the top 3, in my opinion. So, it's just a true toss-up fight. You know what I mean? Both are very skilled. You know what I mean? They both, are very durable. You know what I mean? Chiesa, he could take a wallop. You know what I mean? He'll go to war with anybody. So, from a skill point, I can't even really say there's a gap. I'd say there's a strike. The only gap I can really see is in power. Vicente Leak is strong, man. Really, really strong. Really, really strong. I mean, so that's the only real gap in this fight that I see. As you can see, is the odds. You know what I mean? -120 for Vicente and +100 for Chiesa. Excuse me. This is a true toss-up fight. I mean, I'm going to give the slight edge, in my opinion, to Leak just based on power. And I think he's on a roll and he's been at this weight longer. So I think that will work in his advantage. But you can't count Michael Chiesa out by any stretch of the imagination or phase. You know what I mean? He's a very good fighter in his own right, very skilled, high value. And that's what I like about Michael Chiesa. He's high value, very high value guy, very high value. So hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about Vicente Leak and Michael Chiesa. How do you guys have this fight playing out? And what intrigues you about this fight? What do you think will separate the two men come Saturday night in this fight? Will it be Vicente Leak's power or will it be Michael Chiesa's unrelenting value that will carry the day to a victory? Also, I want you to give me your prediction of how this fight's going to play out. Do you see this fight playing out in a knockout, submission, or decision? And who do you have winning this fight? I already said I'm giving the slight edge to Vicente Leak. The slight edge. But it would not surprise me if Michael Chiesa won this fight. It would not surprise me by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, I just think, in my opinion, that Vicente Leak is just a little too strong. He's been at the welterweight division longer. You know what I mean? He's on a roll. Sometimes when guys get hot, when something gets hot, you know what I mean, it stays hot. Much like Charles Oliveira, for example, he's like on a 21 fight win streak now, and he has the lightweight belt. Things like that happen. I mean, so Vicente Leak, he's on a nice little roll. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say a 6-7 fight win streak. He's on a roll. I mean, so we'll definitely see, you know what I mean, how this fight plays out. But like I said, this is a true toss-up fight. I mean, I'll give the slight edge to Vicente Leak, but I would not be surprised if Chiesa's value and overall skill, because he could do just about everything himself. You know what I mean? He's very versatile in his own right. So, you know what I mean, it's going to be a very fun fight. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to go to decision. I'm going to go Leak by decision, 3 rounds to 2. I think it's going to be a close fight. I don't see this fight ending in a knockout or a submission. I just feel like this is kind of going to be a back and forth affair. But I think it's going to be fight of the year caliber. Not really, you know what I mean? But I think it's going to be a good scrap. We'll call it that, a good scrap. It's going to be a really fun, good scrap. Not fight of the year worthy, but a good scrap. But like I said, hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe Vicente Leak is going to win this fight? Do you got Michael Chiesa winning this fight? And whoever you have winning this fight, how will they win this fight? Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And we are going to take a short break, and I will be right back. All right, and I'm back. Put this bad boy back on full screen. We are eventually going to work our way down the card because I do want to talk about every single fight on this card. You know what I mean? I'm also, while I'm doing so, I'm also, because I'm not going to even lie to you, some of these guys, some of these people on the undercard, I really have no, other than Ed Herman, I really know nothing about. Angela Hill I know about, and Tisha Torres. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go work our way. We're going to start from the top and work our way down to the bottom. A little bit backwards, but that's how we're going to do it. But the second fight I want to talk about on this UFC 265 card is Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munhoz. Now, everybody knows Jose Aldo, former UFC featherweight champion. I mean, future UFC Hall of Famer, highly decorated fighter. You know what I mean? Still got some juice left in the tank. You know what I mean? But ever since he's dropped down to bantamweight, it's been kind of a mixed bag for Jose. You know what I mean? I think once he got exposed by McGregor, you know what I mean? It's just been kind of going like up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't really know how it's kind of like these guys have figured him out. He still puts in a good fight, but these guys have figured him out. I mean, and back to what I was saying, sorry about that. I mean, but back to what I was saying, for me, it's just like Jose is kind of, and he's also age is catching up with him as well. He's not youthful anymore. He's in his mid 30s, you know, and I say this all the time about guys in their mid 30s. You know, Jose was small for a featherweight anyway, so I think the weight cut to 135 isn't too bad, I guess. But I also want to keep in mind he was having problems making 145 back in the day too. So no, I just think like when you're older like that, you know what I mean? It's not a good thing to cut weight. I don't think that Jose really, he's not a true bantamweight. He's a true featherweight. I mean, he really should have been competing at lightweight. I mean, but he decided to, drop down from 145 instead to go up into 135. Like I said, and ever since it's been a mixed bag for him. It's been up and down, but he can still put on entertaining fights. I kind of look at Jose Aldo as a guy now who's more like a veteran wrestler who's putting a new young talent over. That's how I see Jose Aldo. But he's going to put in a good effort and a good show. And as you can see, Jose Aldo's opponent is Pedro Munhoz. Mujos. Man, this kid's really good. Guillotine master. He really knows how to operate the guillotine. Good knockout power. Good kicks. Mm. Yeah, okay. So when I take him from Pedro Munoz, I already can see what type. He is he's all out war. I mean, he's balls to the wall, but he has skill, obviously. I mean, he's been able to score some guillotine submission wins, etc. I see he knows how to utilize the guillotine really, really well. And I actually think stylistically, from what I've really just been watching here on my screen, on my other screen, from what I'm watching, this is actually now a stylistic nightmare matchup for me, in my opinion, for Jose Aldo, because this kid, he comes forward, pressure, pressure, pressure. And not only can he strike, he can honestly grab a hold of you, put you in a guillotine, put you on your ass, and just, wrestle you around, etc., etc. I mean, and like I said, Jose is in his mid-30s. He hasn't been the same fighter since, getting knocked out by Conor McGregor. And I always, especially like with guys like Petr Yan, you've seen it in that fight with Petr Yan. Younger, more higher volume guys get to him nowadays. Like it's not like he can't keep up with the pace. in my opinion, at this advanced age. Which is why I think this is why I say Jose Aldo's now become one of those fighters that is still a good, credible fighter. He has the name. He's going to go down as a legend regardless. But now he's kind of like the gatekeeper, and he's basically putting these new, fresh, young talent over. That's how I'm looking at it. And judging by from how I can tell how Pedro Munhoz fights, this might be an early night. This might be an early night for Aldo. But keep in mind, Aldo is very accurate. He's a very accurate striker. And with the way that Munhoz kind of comes in with that wild brawl style, that don't sleep on Aldo catching him with a clean shot and putting him out and stretching him. Because that could happen. Especially from how I'm seeing how this kid fights. Like I said, this kid's all action, like swing wild, all his haymakers, like his hooks are haymaker like punches or noses. Like he kind of reminds me of a younger Hispanic, or I don't know if he's Mexican, but he kind of reminds me of a younger Chris Lieben with the way he throws his punches, those wild haymakers like that. And as you've seen back in the day with Chris Lieben when he ran into Anderson Silva, when you got a guy who can throw straight punches down the pipe and land clean shots at will, those haymakers and all that wild stuff don't work. And that takes, if anything, that takes more energy from you because you're throwing all them heavy shots like that. And then you're coming in getting tagged as well. So me personally, though, just because of the advanced age of Jose, I'm going to go with Pedro Munhoz by second round stoppage. I think the activity, the youth, the aggressiveness will be the reason why Munhoz pulls out this fight. Excuse me. Judging from what I see, from what I watch, I just think that high value and that high activity was going to carry the day. I just do that. One thing I've seen about Jose, especially lately, he doesn't like pressure. Petr Yan did it to him. Yes, did he give Petr Yan a good fight for the first couple rounds? Yes. But then what happened? That youth and that power and that strength and that aggressiveness broke Jose down. And that's how I see this fight playing out. But I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Hit the comment section. Give me your opinion on this fight between Jose Aldo and Pedro Munhoz. Do you think Jose Aldo is going to turn back the clock and put in a old school vintage Jose Aldo performance, or do you think the young gun in Munhoz is going to overwhelm him and show him that youth? This is a young man's sport in the UFC nowadays. Hit the comment section. I want to know what you guys think. I'm going Pedro Munhoz second round stoppage. Let me know what you guys think as well. Who do you have on winning this fight? And how do you have this fight ending? Do you got Jose by submission, knockout, decision? Or do you have Pedro Munhoz by submission, knockout, or decision? Hit the comment section. I want to know your opinion on that fight. I already gave you my opinion and my prediction. I'm going Pedro Munhoz second round stoppage. I just think the activity and the youth is going to wear old man Aldo down. That's just my opinion. I think he will overwhelm Aldo early at that, real early, real early. But as I said, keep in mind with the way this kid fights. Like I said, he comes in pretty wild, swinging heavy haymakers or like wide shots. You know what I mean? If Jose, and like I said, Jose's a fairly accurate puncher as well. He throws straight, crisp shots. So he could catch this kid coming in if this kid don't protect himself the right way and if he don't, shorten up those punches. And if you are betting on these fights, any of these fights, I mean, from what I'm seeing over here in the corner, saying Aldo and Casey Kenny are among the best bets to consider. So if you're putting money on this fight, I guess the safe pick for what the odds are saying would be Aldo. But me, I'm not going to fall into that trap of going for the big name fighter. You know what I mean? I'm not going for that trap. I'm looking at the reality of the situation. Aldo is on the wrong side of the 30. He's on the wrong side of his career. And this kid is still young and fresh. And he's aggressive. And like I said, what Petr did so well to Jose Aldo was patient pressure. Patient pressure. If Pedro Munhoz can adopt that same style, that same type of aggression, he will get Jose out of there in 2 rounds, in my opinion. And it could not even be by stoppage, like I say. He might just grab a hold of Jose and put him in a guillotine. Like I said, this kid is a really fantastic guillotine artist from what I've seen. He gets in the right position and he latches on and it's over. So it could end that way as well. But hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think and how do you have this fight between Jose Aldo and Pedro Munhoz playing out. All right, and we're gonna take another short break, and I'll be right back with the next fight, which will be the main event of this UFC 265 card. Cyril Gane and Derek Lewis will lock horns Saturday night for the interim UFC heavyweight title. I will be back after this break. All right, we are back. Back to full screen. All right. All right, now we're going to talk about the main event between Cyril Gane and Derek Lewis for the interim UFC heavyweight championship. Before I do that, Don boy, Donnie be bad, get over here. Come here, man. Come here, buddy. One snack. One snack. We get on the show. One snack. Don boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, buddy. Oh, come here. All right. See what's up, Don boy. See what's going on. Welcome to 717 Sports Chat Live. I have to get you your gear. Yeah, he will be the mascot, by the way, for this channel. I got some gear created for him. Here you go, buddy. Ah, there you go. There we go. There we go. Good man. Good man. Got some more. Here. All right, now back to the topic at hand. Cyril Gane and Derek Lewis go at it for the interim UFC heavyweight championship of the world. It is an interesting path to take that these two gentlemen took here. Derek Lewis is on a 4-fight win streak. Cyril Gane is undefeated at 9-0. Man, it's a true toss-up fight. I mean, Gane is favored, obviously, and rightfully so. I will say this. Gane is the more skilled of the two fighters. He's the more skilled. He is. I mean, his striking is phenomenal. You know what I mean? It's precise and it's high value and it gets you out of there. But so will Derek Lewis, and he has bombs in his hands. You know what I mean? You can have Derek Lewis beat the whole fight, even if you don't got like knocked out, submitted already. You can have him deep in the 5th round, and he needs that one shot to land the right way, and it's all over. And personally, I do think, though, Cyril Gane should win this fight. He should, based on skill. Based on skill, he should. Now, I'm not saying like Derek Lewis is some bum with just one shot. You know what I mean? He's not. He's got some skills of his own, but he is more of a brawler. He's more of a street fighter. You know what I mean? Cyril Gane is more, when it comes to striking, more precise, more of a striker. That's just what it is. So, in essence, Cyril Gane should win this fight, but Cyril Gane cannot get overconfident or cocky, because rest assured, if he does, he will be staring up at the lights, and his dreams of becoming, at least interim for the time being, UFC heavyweight champion will be over fairly quickly. And the same could go for Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis has to come into this approach. What the approach, I mean, everybody knows Derek Lewis, he's going to come to fight, regardless, no matter what. But if he wants to be champion, or at least interim champion, until he gets his rematch with Ngannou, who he was already beat, by the way, granted that was a snooze fest, which is why this fight was made. See, let me backtrack for a second. Derek Lewis was supposed to fight Francis Ngannou for the official undisputed world heavyweight title. That fight got nixed because Francis obviously is on break or whatever he's doing. And not only just that, a lot of fans didn't want to see that fight because the first fight was so boring. So then what does UFC does? They does the second best thing. Okay, this guy Cyril Gane, he's moved his way up the ranks. You know what I mean? He's a legit fighter. Let's book him and Derek Lewis for the interim title, and the winner gets Francis Ngannou for the undisputed strap. You know what I mean? So that's the path that basically was taken to get here. Now, I'm going to go with my prediction right now for this fight. I'm going to go Cyril Gane by knockout in the first round. And I hate to say that because I like Derek Lewis. I like Derek Lewis a lot. But I just think that precision and the volume that this guy, the artillery he brings, will be a little too overwhelming. And Derek Lewis isn't known for his defense too much. He's not. Now, it will be interesting to see if Gane is going to come in with that same aggression he usually runs in with because of the bombs that Lewis has in his hands. But I don't want to see Gane get too I don't want him to get too cocky, but I don't want him to get too underconfident neither. I want him to still have enough confidence to come forward and be able to do what he does best, which is strike at high value and land precisely. So I'm going to go Ciryl Gane by first round stoppage. These are heavyweights, people. I don't think this fight's going to last long at all. I do not envision this fight going past not even 2 rounds at the very least. Could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to last long at all. I think this is going to be a quick one. Would I like to see Derek Lewis win? Yeah, I'm rooting for Derek Lewis to win, but my prediction is that Ciryl Gane will come out as the winner in the first round via stoppage, just because of the precision and the value. I just feel like he's technically better than Derek Lewis. That's just my opinion. I want to know your opinion. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. And who do you guys have winning this fight? Do you have Derek Lewis pulling it out and becoming the new UFC interim champion and then going on to face Francis Ngannou for the undisputed strap? Or do you have Ciryl Gane winning this fight, becoming the new interim champion for the UFC heavyweight division, and basically waiting for his shot against Francis Ngannou next for the undisputed strap? Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. All right, we are going to get out of here for the night. I'm just going to cover those 3 fights right there. Like I said, I wanted to cover the bottom half, but I'm not even going to lie to you. I have to take a quick overview on a lot of these fighters. Some of these fighters I haven't even heard of and stuff like that. And I want to be accurate. I want to be accurate with my analysis, and I want to be accurate about who and what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to touch the bottom half. We're just going to focus about the top half of this UFC card, the main card. If I'm not mistaken, the 3 fights that I did talk about is going to be the main focus of the main card, being that Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes title fight was scrapped. I think it's just a 3-fight main card, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to look up, the card itself. Usually ESPN already has the card out, like perfectly, like main card, prelims, etc. But I couldn't find it for some reason this time. It's a little underwhelming. But be that as it may, we made it work. We found a site that at least had the fights in some order. I assume it's going to be Chiesa versus Leak first to kick off the main card. Aldo and Pedro Munhoz is the co-main event, if I'm not mistaken, and then the championship between Ciryl Gane and Derek Lewis. So hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this fight's playing out on Saturday. How do you think it's going to end? And do you think Derek Lewis or Ciryl Gane will end up being the UFC heavyweight interim champion of the world and getting to fight Francis Ngannou next? Let me know who you guys think is going to win this fight and how they're going to win this fight. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. But all right, we're going to get out of here for the night, folks. This is another this is a 717 Sports Chat live feature. UFC 265, Lewis versus Gane. I will be doing live commentary for the card. So I'll make sure to put the broadcast out there so y'all can get in here. You know what I mean? If you want to hit the comment section, if you don't feel like ordering this fight and you just want to get some analysis on it, I'll be on the job. So I'm going to get out here for the night. This is 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm your host, Marcus J. Everybody have a blessed night. Be safe out there in the 717 and abroad.